Over the months, I've been educating people on here about a lot of different species we find here in the UK. From useful natives like this elder, to introduced species like this buddleia. But I think I failed to actually define what native is and what introduced, alien, or non-native is. Even my colleagues in my own field seem to struggle with the concept sometimes, so I'm going to define it for you. Native species, like this hazel here, got to a location without any human assistance. They evolved to be in that location. And because of this, all the other organisms that it shares its environment with have evolved strategies, developed behaviors to deal with that species, and thus they coexist rather well. Some native species are so well adapted to one another, they can't exist without each other. A perfect example of this is the large blue butterfly, which is a native butterfly that relies on native ants in which to reach maturity. And nativity isn't lost just because humans extirpate, locally extinct, a species. Just because humans cause the extinction of beaver, moose, wolves, and bears doesn't stop them being native. Hence why there are many pushes for these species to return, as they are missing components of a greater ecosystem. Beavers have already made a return and are doing fantastic. Now, a non-native species are basically any organism that is introduced into a place by humans, whether it be on purpose or by accident. But not all non-native species are invasive. That is important to remember. In fact, only around 10 to 15% of non-native organisms ever become invasive. But that doesn't mean you should introduce just anything willy-nilly. Ecologically speaking, native is always best. And then you have more nuanced things like this egret. You see, egrets weren't just brought here by people, accidentally, or on purpose. They just flew here from southern Europe. So that makes them native, right? You see, these egrets are a very recent addition to this area. I'd never seen them growing up. Now they're here. And the biggest likely cause for this is climate change. As the climate has warmed thanks to human activities, the egrets have been able to move into more territory further north, technically qualifying it to be human assistance. It's still being debated how to classify animals such as this, but as you can tell, it's pretty nuanced. The next bit I want to talk about is invasivity, but I think I'll leave that for another video, as this is already getting a bit long. Oh, and just so you know, this video isn't a dog whistle for bigots. Please stop trying to use science to justify your hate, to sign a weakness. Compassion is real power.